The film begins with a small island surrounded by a calm sea. A couple is enjoying a peaceful swim under the clear sky. After a while, they decide to head back because the tide is rising. Suddenly, the woman sees something passing beneath the water near her and gets scared. Her boyfriend reassures her that everything will be fine once they reach the boat. However, we see that the rope tying the boat to the anchor is badly worn out, and as they swim back, it slowly starts to break. At the same time, the shadow of a giant shark moves toward them, attracted by the constant movement of their hands and feet. The woman somehow reaches the boat, but when she turns around to call her boyfriend, she only sees a large patch of blood spreading through the water. The man comes up to the surface one last time and begs his girlfriend for help, but the next moment he is pulled back underwater. Terrified, the woman quickly climbs onto the boat, but just then the rope snaps, causing the sail to swing violently and hit her directly in the face, knocking her unconscious and into the water. Sometime later, we meet Charlie and his girlfriend Kate, who work for a company that offers scenic tours in single-engine airplanes. While relaxing at home, Charlie receives a call from a potential customer who wants to book their service for the next day. Charlie is happy because the extra booking will help him cover his growing expenses. The next morning, a car arrives carrying a couple named Joe and Michelle, who have booked a full-day aerial tour. After introducing themselves, everyone prepares to board the airplane. Before takeoff, Ben and Michelle exchange strange looks, leaving everyone confused. A little later, they take off and enjoy the breathtaking views of dense forests and beautiful landscapes. Their next stop is a small deserted island. On the way, they discuss sharks, but Charlie, who was once a marine biologist, assures everyone that sharks are rarely seen there during this time of year. He also reveals that during his career, one of his legs was badly injured in a shark attack. After arriving on the island, Kate explains that the place is called Hell Reef because in 1991, a pearl hunter's boat sank there. 8 crew members were stranded for 15 days without food or water, and in the end, only an 18-year-old Japanese boy survived. Michelle then reveals that the boy was her grandfather. She shows everyone his photo and explains that she came here to fulfill his last wish. She wants to scatter his ashes into the sea at this very place so his soul can rest peacefully with the friends who died in the tragedy. After that, everyone walks along the beach and enjoys the beauty of nature. During this time, Kate tells Charlie that she is pregnant. The news makes them both very happy, but it also fills them with concern about the future. Suddenly, Ben calls everyone over and shows them the body of a man lying on the beach, who has clearly been killed in a shark attack. He is the same man we saw at the beginning of the story. Everyone immediately decides to leave, but Ben believes the man's wife may still be alive. He insists on searching for her because surviving alone on that deserted island would be almost impossible. On the other hand, Joe wants them to return and leave the matter to the Coast Guard, but Charlie refuses, so everyone spreads out to search for the woman. After some time, they find an overturned boat and go to investigate it. Ben dives underwater to inspect the submerged part while the others wait. He realizes it is the same boat the couple from the opening scene was using. However, the next moment he is horrified to find the woman's dead body covered with shark bite marks. He quickly returns to the airplane and tells everyone that there is no hope left because the woman is dead as well. Hearing this increases everyone's fear and tension. As they prepare to leave, Ben once again gives Michelle the same strange look before boarding the airplane. But then Michelle notices a giant shark racing toward them, cutting through the water at high speed. The shark crashes into the airplane with tremendous force, knocking Ben into the water. The impact also breaks the airplane's float, causing the aircraft to slowly sink. Ben immediately grabs an inflatable raft and then everyone else makes their way toward it. Before leaving, Charlie tries to send a distress signal using the radio, but he is forced to abandon the airplane as it sinks beneath the water. The massive shark keeps circling around them, and now their only hope is the life raft. The airplane completely disappears into the ocean, and Charlie drifts helplessly with the others. They discuss their situation and realize they are about 150 kilometers from the shore. Even if a rescue operation begins immediately, it could take several days for anyone to find them. Charlie explains that the ocean current is currently in their favor, but to reach safety, they will have to keep paddling all day. Joe becomes extremely frustrated by the situation, leading to an argument with Charlie. Charlie angrily asks if Joe has a better plan because night is approaching, so he tells everyone to keep moving forward. The couple worries about the deadly predator beneath the water, but Charlie reassures them that the shark may have already left. After that, everyone starts paddling across the vast ocean, while Charlie uses a compass to keep them on the right course. However, beneath the surface, a giant great white shark silently follows them. After some time, Charlie asks Ben about the predator, and Ben estimates that the shark is at least 5 meters long. Meanwhile, Kate treats Michelle's injured hand. Michelle explains that Joe is so terrified because he has feared water ever since a childhood accident. She had convinced him to come on this trip, but it has now turned into a nightmare. As night falls, they continue searching for land. At one point, the enormous shadow of the shark appears right beside the raft. Later, Joe tells everyone that he is an expert analyst, and after calculating their situation, he believes their chances of survival are less than 5%. He then asks Charlie whether the shark is still nearby. Charlie admits he cannot be certain, but he believes it is still circling around them. Hearing this frightens everyone even more, and they paddle harder in the hope of reaching safety. After paddling for hours, Michelle's hands become badly blistered, so Joe tears off a piece of his shirt and wraps it around her hands. Exhausted, they all fall asleep one by one. Michelle also falls asleep and accidentally drops one of the paddles into the water while the shark continues watching them from a distance. A little later, she wakes up and tells everyone what happened. Fortunately, the paddle is still floating nearby, but someone will have to get into the water to retrieve it. Charlie is terrified because it reminds him of his previous shark attack. Kate understands his fear and decides to get the paddle herself. Charlie tries hard to stop her, but she assures him everything will be fine. She quietly slips into the water, retrieves the paddle, and begins swimming back. Just then, the shark's fin appears directly behind her. Terrified, she swims back to the raft as fast as she can while the shark disappears into the depths again. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief when Kate returns safely, but they are now certain that the predator is still very close. As they continue drifting, Kate and Michelle begin putting on warmer clothes. Kate changes without any trouble, but Michelle struggles. Ben tries to help her, which makes Joe furious, and he forcefully pushes Ben away. An argument breaks out between them, and during the fight, Joe shoves Ben off the raft into the sea. Because of his injured hand, Ben is unable to climb back aboard. Charlie and Kate try to save him, but before he can reach the raft, the giant shark drags him underwater and kills him. His death leaves everyone deeply shocked. Sometime later, it begins to rain, allowing them to collect a small amount of drinking water. While checking their supplies, Charlie finds a knife. He says that if he can get close enough to the shark, he might be able to stab its small brain. Kate calls the plan far too dangerous, and Charlie eventually gives up the idea. He puts the knife away. Michelle then asks him to take care of her grandfather's ashes as well. The shark is still somewhere nearby, but no one knows where it is hiding. Suddenly, it slams into the raft with tremendous force, flipping it over and throwing everyone into the water. Panicking, they all struggle to climb back onto the raft as quickly as possible. Kate is the first to make it back aboard, and unfortunately, at that very moment, the giant shark attacks Joe. Michelle desperately tries to swim toward her husband to save him, but Charlie stops her. The next morning, when all hope of survival is almost gone, Michelle scatters her grandfather's ashes into the sea and prays that he will take care of her husband's soul. Seeing her heart broken, Kate encourages her and says they should not give up because there is still hope of survival. Just then, Charlie delivers another piece of bad news. The shark has torn a hole in the raft, and air is escaping rapidly, reducing their chances of staying afloat. After a while, even without a paddle, Kate and Michelle begin pushing the raft forward with their hands, while Charlie uses the remaining piece of the paddle and the knife he found to make a spear. After resting for a short time, the shark appears again. Charlie prepares to attack, but it only circles around them. Then Charlie realizes that there are not one but two sharks. The sight terrifies all three of them. Charlie tries to strike one of the sharks with his homemade weapon, but he fails. The situation gets even worse when one of the sharks slams into the raft, throwing Kate into the water. Charlie immediately pulls her back onto the raft, and the three continue searching for a safe place. Several hours pass. Exhausted, they fall asleep without realizing that the raft has almost completely deflated and is slowly filling with water. Just then, a ray of hope appears when they spot a small island not far away. Seeing it, they gather all their strength and begin moving toward it. But danger returns once again, and now the raft is on the verge of sinking. Left with no other choice, Charlie reveals that he has a plan. He gathers his belongings, gives Kate a flare gun, and tells Michelle to swim to the shore first and save herself. Charlie and Kate decide to stay behind and face the sharks, while Michelle starts swimming toward the beach. Charlie deliberately lures one of the sharks toward himself. As it comes close, Kate fires the flare gun straight into its mouth. At that very moment, Charlie Charlie jumps onto it and repeatedly strikes its head until he finally hits its weak spot and kills it. After that, the two begin searching for the second shark, because it could attack at any moment. Meanwhile, a terrified Michelle climbs onto the wreckage of an old ship near the beach. The second shark changes its target and begins looking for easier prey. To save Kate, Charlie pushes her away, but in doing so, the shark attacks him and he loses his life. Charlie's death completely shatters Kate, but she gathers her courage and swims toward Michelle. Both women grieve the loss of their companions, but they have little time because the shark attacks again, knocking them back into the water. Kate then comes up with a plan. She distracts the shark so Michelle can safely reach the beach. After that, Kate swims inside the sunken ship while the shark follows her. She tries to hide, but before long the shark finds her. The shark attempts to enter the wreck, but the powerful impact causes part of the ship's wreckage to collapse onto it, trapping it beneath twisted pieces of metal. At the same time, Kate's oxygen tank becomes caught on an iron rod. As her oxygen slowly runs out, she loses consciousness. Just then, Michelle returns and saves Kate by sharing some of her own oxygen. After regaining consciousness, Kate looks for a way to kill the shark once and for all. She notices a sharp iron rod hanging directly above the shark's head. She strikes the support, holding it in place, causing the rod to plunge straight into the shark's head, killing it for good. In the end, both women make it out of the water and reach the island's beach. They feel relieved to have survived, but a new challenge now awaits them: staying alive by fighting hunger and thirst until rescue finally arrives.